first week of November here in East Texas. Today, planning on going into an area that I have not hunted or been into at all this year. So we'll see what it looks like as I make my way through there in the dark. It's an area in the past that I've encountered a large kind of community type scrape. I've seen several good bucks back in there on film. I do think one of those deer was killed last year, so not really counting on him, but there was a couple other legal deer in that area, so I'm going to work down into a drainage and actually walk down through the bottom of that drainage just to keep my scent low. I'm hoping I can pop right out and climb into the tree, hoping that scrape that has been there in the past is still there also. So it's about 5:30 now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and get set up. I'll see y'all out there. Sun's just coming up. Got the wind kind of in my face this way, with a creek here in front of me. I decided to blow out all the beautyberry back there behind me. I've had a camera here in the past. All the deer movements seem to be kind of right up against this tree line, so I'm about 20-25 yards off that tree line on the creek. I already had a deer actually catch my wind kind of back to my, I guess would be southwest, about 10 minutes ago. Just based on the way it was blowing, it sounded like it was a buck. It was real deep kind of blow, and it wasn't that high pitched blow that you get out of a doe. Kind of hope that wasn't the only encounter of the morning. Sit tight and hope something else moves through here. Alright, it's 10 o'clock. I have not seen any deer. I think I'm going to tear this set down, hike it back to the bike, grab my tripod and my rattling antlers, and work my way back down in here. On the other side of this creek there's two clear cuts, so I think I'm going to work along those, and try rattling and calling a little bit, and I'm going to probably work back toward the east and hit another couple spots and try that here midday. That's something I've never tried or done, so I got nothing to lose. You gotta try to be aggressive as you can out here. Next weekend is opening our rifle season, so once that starts, there's gonna be a lot more people in and out of the woods. So also we got a cold front coming in tomorrow, so chance of rain tomorrow and Thursday are pretty high, so I really only have maybe 2.5 days left of hunting this week before my rutcation's over, so I'm gonna kind of swing for the fences and hope this works. this area I was wanting to scout. I did come across a couple big scrapes. So I think I'm gonna sit here till the sun goes down. So scrapes are right around there. So they're about 15 yards from where I'm gonna set up. I'm gonna hunt the ground and I'm gonna try the old palmetto trick again. See if we can make it work this time. So I'm gonna go ahead and start kind of getting that set up. It's a little after 3 o'clock, so should have plenty of time to do what I've got to do and get set up. It's Thursday morning. I am going to jump on the bike again, head back into that area I was in toward the end of last week. Actually got skunked back in there. I'm gonna move south of there a little bit, about 150 yards, set up on an area. It seems to be kind of a pinch point. Never hunted it. I did have a trail camera there. Definitely deer moving through there. Again, the pre-rut is going. Have seen some signs of chasing. Came across a lot of scrapes a couple days ago when I was out, so think I'm gonna go ahead and give this spot a try. We did have a cold front come in last night, so the temps are supposed to stay around 55 all day. Wind's gonna be north to northeast, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my gear together and start this 2-mile bike ride into this area. Finally got set up in this stand. It took me at least an hour and a half to make my way up this tree. It's very bushy to get my stand positioned correctly, but I feel really good about the way I'm set up. So this is an area I call the pinch point. It's my first time ever coming in here and sitting this, but I've got an area to my left that, based on trail camera footage from last year and this year, those deer seem to kind of funnel along this ridge and pop right through that little opening in some thick cover. And they also move along this thick hedge that I'm kind of tucked into here. So I got the wind is out of northeast, so kind of coming right at my face, blowing back into this thick stuff behind me. Hopefully this morning's results are a little better than my last morning hunt. Just see what happens as the morning progresses. Well, just had my first deer come in, and it approached directly from the south of me, which is the direction I hoped they would not approach. So about the time I wrapped up that interview, it spooked off here to my right. That's not the direction I was hoping they'd move. I was hoping they'd move more along this thick stuff, but hopefully that didn't set the tone for the entire morning. A little after 9:30. I'm cold. I haven't seen any deer. Not really sure what I'm gonna do from here. Thinking about getting down and doing a trail cam card pull just to try to warm up a little bit. Maybe making a decision after that. It's a little after 11 o'clock. I ended up having, I think, a doe and a yearling come by about 100 yards. Kind of came in from my left around that pinch point area and tracked up the hill. Definitely got the wind completely wrong for this spot. I definitely probably need to be hunting it on a more of a west to southwest wind. I'm gonna go ahead and start tearing this stuff down, hike back to the bike, and try to come up with another game plan for this afternoon. I decided to take the bike about another mile into here. I'm gonna work my way down what appears to be a good old Forest Service road. According to the map, there's a creek that runs along this, but back to, I guess would be my west, which is that way. So my plan is, with the wind out of the north, it's going to be right in my face. I think I'm just going to kind of ease down that creek. The creek actually runs north to south, so I'm going to try to get along that transition line and just work my way to the north, glassing, looking for sign. If I find anything good, the plan is to set up on the ground and hopefully make something happen. I was making my way along this creek. I got about a quarter of the way in here and I jumped a deer. I say I jumped. I don't know if it saw me, but I caught movement back over here behind me. I was actually back there near the creek. Caught a deer coming down that hill, moving the direction that I'm in, so I think I may be onto the right strategy. I marked that spot. This is kind of an area the deer want to be. I'm just gonna keep making my way around this hill and this creek. I still have not seen any deer sign. I did come across some deer droppings just before actually encountering that deer, so this may be where they are. So I made that loop around that creek bottom. Only had the encounter with the one deer. Came across a couple piles of deer poop. Other than that, I didn't find any scrapes, any rubs, so I did come across a climbing stand back in there. On my, kind of on the very back side, kind of the last part of my hike, as well as a game cart, so looks like somebody had just recently put it there. It could be put there for rifle season, or it could be from bow hunting. So anyways, I decided to go back to the bike. I'm fairly close to the area I found that big scrape in the day before last, so I decided just to run down here real quick. It's about 5:30 at this point. I didn't have a lot of time left, but I decided to run down in here and set up over this big scrape, just kind of as a Hail Mary. Hope I get lucky, maybe catch something coming in to freshen it up. We did have a lot of rain yesterday. So I'm set up on the ground. I'm kind of down in a hole right here. You can't really tell, but there's a divot. And I got the scrape. It's kind of right through there. There's just a little window that I can shoot. I've got all this beautyberry and everything behind me that should break up and conceal me. If anything comes in, it'll probably be 15-yard shot. So I got a north wind. Should be kind of coming right to left for me. Kind of just over my left shoulder. So I have no idea how the deer move through here. Again, just hoping we get lucky at this point. Tomorrow's the last day of bow season. Rifle open Saturday morning, and the Orange Army will be in here full force. So things are gonna get much more interesting.